Well guys, another beautiful day here in Panglawa. Such a lovely day. You never know, it could be the rain after the midday. I'm gonna talk about living in a houseboat on this region. As we see, there is an array of different kind of boats here. That symbolizes for me the freedom. With this machine you can cross the oceans, you can travel between the islands, and it's driven by the wind, so it's maximum freedom. Only if you have a skills you can manage anything on this planet Earth. You can go anywhere, stay anywhere, and reasonable comfort and speed and safety is here. Well, yeah, machine like this enables you accomplish all our industrialized world people dreams of the traveling and seeing far distant places and living in a tropical environment, living tropical vibes. As you see, foldable, which is very important for the United States, for the Europe, Australia, industrialized world in one word, where you can put this machine on a trailer and you can pull it with you. But for the local places as in Southeast Asia, Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, that wouldn't be so important. It could be made in such a way that you have more cabin space. Then you have a more place on outriggers for your entertainment, for the sitting on the nets and so on. And outriggers could be a little bit more distant. That you have more stability. But of course, you have more stability, you need to have a little bit stronger outrigger system, because each and other thing costs something. If you want to have a little bit more luxury of more place, you need to have a more stronger structure. So the stronger structure gonna add the weight, so your draft gonna be bigger. There is always some kind of penalty for any comfort, for anything what you want in life. It's some kind of payment. But in general, the machine like this, it's one of the best options to travel the islands. You can beach this boat and put on the ground. Of course, you need to understand where is a suitable place, where is a muddy, sandy place, where there's no rocks. But if you build this machine out of aluminium, so you can have a system under the amas and also the main hull. You have a system, you have a specific supporting mechanisms. Sometimes we call that sacrificial keel, but some kind of the keel which is made from aluminium, so you always will be having this kind of sledge, and you will be able to beach on that, so you're not going to be supporting the weight of the boat on the amas, on the hull, but on some kind of structure. What kind of structure? Well, you can invent in many different ways. Most easiest way, of course, is kind of sacrificial keel. Once you use aluminium, your doors are for invention open, so you can utilize and invent so many different approaches and things how you can safely beach your boat. And there is also systems how you can move the boat on the beach, but we're gonna touch upon that a little bit later. What kind of propulsion systems you can use here? Well, in my opinion, everything goes in the side of electricity. We're going to see more and more electrical transportation. You're going to see the roof panels, which enables you to travel maybe around 100 to 150 kilometers in a day, which is totally sufficient for the boat like this. If you have another sunny day, but if you have a cloudy day, then it could be the more limited range. So we're going to be talking more about options how you can travel the oceans and far distances only with battery propulsion. There's a new yachts, as you know, the line of the yachts, which is called Silent. New Silent 60 just was launched a few months ago. They have Silent 55, 60 and 80 in the plans. So the catamarans, which travels only by solar propulsion. Of course, it's possible to build in the hybrid systems when you have your diesel engine, but your main source of the propulsion is electricity. Also possible here, could be driven also by the solar panels. You can install the solar panels on the roof, install the electrical propulsion system, and you're good to go between islands. I guess maybe around 30 kilometers in a day. This could be done with ease with this one. But this is more like a service vehicle, maybe some business vehicle to transport the tourists between islands. Thunder is here. Well, the weather is unpredictable now, yeah, you never know. 20 minutes ago it was sunny, and now it could be even rainy. Well, yeah, that's the beautiful trimaran. Speed machine, freedom, wind in your ear, and you're good to go. So many options, so many opportunities with machines like this. Definitely island hopping here in the region between the Philippine Islands. Definitely you can go for Indonesia, you can go for Malaysia, and you can cross the oceans with this machine. Definitely, there is no doubts about that. Definitely as a living place. So you have on outriggers, nets, and so more living space, so you can enjoy your comfort and your security inside in a cockpit. And then you can enjoy the outside life around your trimaran. Two beautiful examples. We have a catamaran over there. That's the plywood and fiberglass catamaran. I was talking with owner last year on the beach. Two guys from Europe building the stuff, traveling the places around. Well, interesting, but kind of amateur. That's one professional build machine. Beautiful trimaran houseboat. Living here in Southeast Asia is going to be so many new things for you. You see, the social structures and the lifestyle is very different than we have back in Europe. So for me, enjoy the lifestyle which is here is very difficult because of the noise, doggies, and pollution and so on. So in this regard, like, best way to enjoy the surroundings for me, of course, could be also for you. Is a houseboat lifestyle. The freedom which this boat gives you, you can travel from one destination to another destination, you can live on this beautiful houseboat for the long term, you can live monthly and yearly. It's not like 1 or 2, 3 days, you can stay in different places 1 month, 2 months, maybe half of the year. So in this way you can travel around the islands for the many years, and then once you're done with one country, you can go to another country. It's close proximity to beautiful Borneo Island, Indonesia, Malaysia, and of course you can go up to Sumatra, you can go up to the Komodo Islands, and you can explore Indonesia, and then you can go to Thailand, and then Vietnam. There's so many places where you can go with this thing. The height of the pontoons is around 1 meter 20, 1 meter, 1 meter 20 approximately. So you can see my shoulder line, 178. It should be around 2 meters high. If it's 2 meters high, then it could be ocean going. But even with this one, with modifications, you can manage definitely crossing the islands and definitely nearby islands, and Cebu, Siquijor, Negros, and so on. So sea-going capabilities are here. The ocean-going, yeah, well, that's manageable, but you need to have a preparation for that. Propulsion systems also could be different. This one is very good because this boat is very light structure. as always in boating life, on any also transportation, even the cars and airplanes, more weight you add, more you pay for that, more fuel. In this case with the boats, bigger draft. If you see here, the draft is around 30-40 centimeters only. That's amazing. In a little bit more weight, if you put people on board and the fuel, it could be 50, maybe 60 centimeters only. So the draft is very good. And more serious engines you put inside, more weight you put, the more draft you have. So it's not going to be possible to go in shallow places. Light fiberglass pontoons, secure enough, strong enough for the local traveling. Simple structures, like those one plywood structures, are capable, and the people manage safe return to home with those. In our opinion, as a European, of course, this wooden plywood structure is not even considerable. If they can manage, well, then the structure like this will manage for sure. One option, first one, you have your light structure, light, beautiful fiberglass trimaran. Why trimaran, what not catamaran? Well, more waterline you have, less draft you have, more weight you can carry with you. So for this reason, there is no need to think about a catamaran. This additional third one, pontoon, is just a benefit for any side which you look on. You see, the deck distances between the pontoons are smaller, so materials could be not that rigid and heavy. Once you have this light structure and you have your cabins, here you have around 150 square meters of living space, yeah, on one floor. Like 20 to 22 meters to 7-8 meters. Then you have same amount of the space on second floor. Then you can, of course, you can, you see the solar panels on the rooftop. You can make those solar panels liftable up and foldable down when stormy weather and so on, and for the storage of the boat. And you can lift it up, you can have a shadow, and you can change the angle also of those solar panels on the roof. So you're always exposed to most efficient angle to the sun. Stronger the solar panels you have, smaller batteries you need. General good engineering and design is always possible to engineer and design a boat in such a way that each structure has a function and also serves as a decoration. And then you just decide what you want to do. Is this boat gonna go here between small islands, 50 kilometers, maybe 100? Or this boat gonna be your private living yacht and you're gonna be traveling all around the world? Of course, it's not gonna be speed machine when you can travel from over Atlantic or Pacific. Well, for that reason you have this beautiful trimaran over there. Nimble, wind-driven, fast machine. This one is slow. Your living house, your traveling palace. So the purpose, travel between the small islands and live the island hopping lifestyle here in the region. For this purpose, the structure like this is totally sufficient. Sometimes I think the main additional part which I would like to have, it could be the ability to put this boat on the stills, maybe 8 stills here between the pontoons and those spaces. There's a system which you can put install on the boat, so once you reach the place like this, you can deploy the stills, can lift up the boat a little bit above the high tide level, so you don't need to adjust them, so the boat can stay on the stills for the months and months. And also that's going to enable you to escape the places where there is tidal differences. Maybe you can cut by the tide. You can manage the reefs, so this gives you ability to move your boat and park your boat freely in more and more places. The places like this not going to be available everywhere. Well, they are abundant between the islands. If you know the places, you always will find some mangrove, muddy, sandy places. But in general, the beaches have a little bit stones and a little bit rocks, so you need to have this still system in order to park your boat nearly everywhere. This is a fisherman village, not necessarily the destination like this. That's the boat building place. This boat was built here. There's also another boat builder lives here. But in general, once you reach your destination, you find a nice spot, so you can put your boat on the stills, or you put your boat on the anchor, and then you can live and enjoy the lifestyle in this place for the months and months. You have your small dinghy, your boat, which serves you as a car for the groceries and traveling around, and that's your floating living palace. Beautiful 2-level or maybe even 3-level trimaran. Like in this case, it's just only 2-level, but we're gonna talk about a 3-level living trimaran. You have your beautiful and secure places which shelters you from the rain and then the weather and so on. You have a kitchen, CRs, you know, the living spaces, and then you have entertainment deck, 2nd floor. And you have your energy production system on a rooftop. So you're totally sufficient and totally free to live for the months and for the years on this boat, enjoy the beautiful warm tropical climate and nearly any destination wherever you want. You can imagine you are sitting in your boat, you have beautiful windows, you are looking on a beautiful neighborhood islands and the mangroves and other boats. You are in the waterfront. It's a silent, quiet, ecologically clean environment, and you have all the amenities which you need with you, and close proximity to the civilization. You always can take your motorbike or maybe a bike, or you can hire someone to go to the city for the groceries. So there is no any shortages in supplies or essential things which you're going to be missing. Also the internet connection here in islands or between islands is sufficient. Of course, it's growing and it's still developing, but it's on the way, and a few years it's going to be totally sufficient. And then again, we have a Starlink system, and this is just the first system which already works, and in 3-5 years is going to be covering all the planet Earth, so you will be able to get internet in high speed in any place on planet Earth. Then we can discuss the second option. So you can go between the countries. You utilize the seas and maybe sometimes a little bit ocean, but mainly you are in shoreline. You travel between the places in a distance which is seenable for you and reachable, which is maybe around 50-20 kilometers from the shore. So you are able to go to the safe harbor in any time when you decide, when the weather is bad, when you see the stormy weather is coming. And in modern times, when we have those all forecast applications in the systems, so it's very easy to understand when the huge storms come over. When the smaller you're going to be able to survive, but the bigger one, you can go for the safe harbor and stay in some place, park your boat, wait over the storm, and then you continue your journey. So the other option, if you want to go between different islands utilizing the seas, distance may be daily around 50 to 100 kilometers. So for this reason, you need to have a little bit bigger pontoons. Those are 1.20 meters, 1.50 meters. You need to have around 2 meters high pontoons. Well, you're going to add the weight, so your draft is going to be bigger. But then again, you're going to be able to deal with the bigger waves. You need to have a little bit wider structure. The ratio between the length and a beam and a width. If we have 20 meters a long boat, the width could be around 8 to 10 meters. So wider structure. In this case, we see the lines of the decks is bended, which is very smart design feature, which also looks good. But then all the water runs down. The size of those pontoons could be 1 meter, maybe 60 to 2 meters. 2 meters going to be huge pontoons, but then again, there is also pros and cons. You understand them. The bigger the structure, more the weight. More weight, more stronger propulsion system you need to have in order to move it. But then you can decrease your draft if you have broader pontoons. And if you build a boat, houseboat, which is mainly designed that you're going to be traveling between the islands and between the countries in the region, so it's smart to make the pontoons in such a way that they can deal with the waves. They have still decent draft. You can calculate. We know Archimedes, the law. You have more higher pontoons, more wider pontoons, which is able to accommodate the people, make the living places inside. Of course, you can put your machines, your engines, and all those 3 pontoons. This could be a hybrid system. In middle pontoon, you may have your diesel engine, and in the side pontoons, you may have your electrical engines. There's many different options here. So you have trimaran with the 3 big, decent size pontoons. You're now able to deal with the waves. You have your most heaviest things placed on the pontoons. Same time, you can have living places on the pontoons, and then you can build your beautiful living space. And then you have your entertainment deck, which is also solar panel holding deck, which also is liftable. It always should be liftable. So you, first of all, you have additional space, like 150 square meter space, and also with adjustable angle to find the best exposure to the sun. So you have your 3 floors. First floor, living in the pontoons. Second floor, main floor. You can do whatever you want to do. It could be living, it could be entertainment place, it could be many living accommodations and one entertainment place. It's all up to you. So many options are here. And also third floor. More speed you want to have, the lighter structure should be, or you just need to pay more money. You can push heavy boat with the big livable pontoons, like 2 meters by 250, 3 pontoons, and 22 meters by 8-9 meters with boat. No problem with that. You can push that, and you can engineer in aluminium very safely this kind of boat. But then you need to have more tanks for the diesel and stronger engines, so you can push your boat through the waves and get this boat other side of the ocean. Once you're going to visit this boat and get a trip around the islands, you totally will understand the value of it. And then you're going to go back on the shore, you're going to think, yeah, that was beautiful. And I'm sure that the value which this kind of a lifestyle delivers is nearly uncomparable to anything. Here you can go for the fishing, you can go for the swim, sunbathing, like anything is here in the reach of the 5 seconds. You can build each 3 meters some kind of cushioning system. And of course you can build the keel under the boat, which is going to be holding those cushioning systems. So wherever you're going to have a shallow water and tidal changes, you're always going to be able to leave your boat on the beach without worry. Why I'm not fiberglass? For me, well, because of the maintenance. As I told you before, anything what you build, you want to build in such a way that it's low maintenance. Specifically, you build a houseboat. You don't want to rush around and deal with the cracks, deal with the twisting, repairing, sea-going houseboat. Higher pontoons, a little bit more rigid structure, better engineering specifically for sea worthiness, for sea-going properties. Like this boat is not designed by itself to go between the countries. It's designed to serve this small regional around here. So for this reason, it's just a perfect. The draft which we saw here in this boat, as you see the line, it's even like 10 centimeters, 15 centimeters from the anti-fouling. It's very little draft. 30 centimeters of the draft. 30 centimeters of the draft. Come on, guys, for this huge machine. That's enormous. That's huge. That's amazing. And then you can build an ocean-going boat, specifically to cross the oceans and stay in different places with your floating house for the long term. But it's still going to be capable to go over the ocean. For that reason, you have I will take aluminum as the main material, the higher pontoons, 2 meters, 250 in height, more rigid structure, and of course stronger propulsion systems. Sun is back, and now you can enjoy again. You're living in the close proximity to the beautiful nature. And like I was talking in the beginning of this video about the reasons why should you have the houseboat instead of having the house or having the condo. But the reason is, like always, it's same for the Europe, it's same for United States, it's same here in Asia. You escape the neighborhood. Why you should escape the neighborhood? Well, in this case, you hear the roosters, the stray dogs, and other disturbances which you're gonna have in a neighborhood. It's inevitable. Somebody gonna build his house, gonna rebuild his house. It's gonna be construction noise. Somebody have a noisy dog. There is a rooster culture which is totally annoying and unacceptable for us Europeans. So you see, even if you want to stay in a shoreline, enjoy your life in a beautiful village close to the sea line, it's not going to be easy to find a place. It's not going to be even sometimes even possible. If it's built and engineered in such a way that's very low maintenance, very well thought through, with good materials, with good electrical systems, it's going to be easy to maintain this boat also single-handed. And then again, you can park your boat, you can beach your boat, so many options, and you can travel all those beautiful places and islands. Capable to crossing the waves in the size of the 1.5 meter. If the waves around is 2 meters, so it should be the front side built in such a way that you can deal with the waves. Here we have a good example. The front of the boat is built in such a way and in such design that it should be capable to deal with the 2-3 meters waves. Constantly crossing the oceans. Well, is it possible to cross the ocean with this houseboat? Well, I guess yes, it's possible. I will say if you use maybe around 500 to 1 ton kilos of the fiberglass and strengthen all the systems here. You add redundancy engines, not just one central one, but 2 redundancy engines, diesel ones. You put diesel tanks, which is sufficient for this kind of ocean crossing. And also, of course, the rudders should be totally rebuilt and so on. Well, then, yeah, I guess investment around 40,000 euros to 50 in the base. I talk about just materials without the labor, will enable you to cross the oceans even with this houseboat. Cross the ocean, for me, it's not that important. It's going to be crossing maybe once in the 5 years, maybe in the 3 years, something like that. Because once you are in the region here, it's a huge amount of islands to travel and enjoy. You wouldn't yeah, you wouldn't be enjoying the rush with this houseboat from one island to other island. Much more enjoyable going to be staying in one place for 1 month, for half year, another place, and so on. So the ocean crossing once in a 5 years, something like that. But it's such a beautiful thing. And once you're standing here in front of those beautiful islands, you know, the nature just calling you. Go and explore this beautiful nature. And what it can be better way to explore this nature than the houseboat. Yeah, plywood structure. There's one other interesting person, Nigel, in the Negros. I was visiting him before, and he builds the catamarans, not like this, but much more professional catamarans, 60 feet, and also fiberglass and the plywood. And the cost of those catamarans is around 60 to 80,000 euros. Yeah, you see the basic structure. Self-built plywood, fiberglass catamaran. But of course, you can't compare that with this one beauty. That's professional thing. That's yeah, Rudder's engine. Definitely we're gonna be talking more about the houseboats here in Southeast Asia, United States and Europe. That's going to be one of my main topics, a part of the healthy and smart lifestyle. New technologies and propulsion systems, solar panels, batteries, battery management system, controllers. And you combine all those knowledge together in good engineering. And then by using CNC machines where you can cut all the necessary parts, it enables us to build the boats like this nearly in any location in the world. You can order your boat in a container, in a box, and then yeah, if you have a place close proximity like this to the sea line, you can build a boat and launch the boat. Houseboat culture is growing huge steps all around the world. Particularly in Europe, I see people more and more choose living as a living place houseboat. I saw it in Norway, I saw in Amsterdam, I saw so many places around the Europe. We know all the beautiful European channels is full with the houseboats. It's not gonna stop. People like this kind of lifestyle, and as for me, more I travel, more I understand the value of this kind of machine. And for me, more I seen in my life, more experience, I more and more value the freedom and close proximity to the nature, which gives you this machine. That's the main ingredient for your happy and adventurous lifestyle. We saw also this beautiful houseboat, trimaran, which is in a quality product range. And we saw this beautiful trimaran, which is a world-class sailing machine. So as you see, there is options which you can choose from. As for me, for the speed, the trimaran with the wind-driven trimaran, sail trimaran, that's the best choice. So you can cross the oceans, you can go travel distant islands here with the comfort and the speed. And here you have, and this is a total freedom machine, global freedom machine, so you can travel all around the world, live in any place where you choose, and you have totally sufficient systems on board. After the rain we have only one visitor, yeah. The capability of the boat to stay on the water, on a shallow water or on the stills for the long term is most important thing. And ocean seaworthiness and ocean going properties is also important, that your boat is built in such a way that it can withstand the waves. After 1 month, yeah, how I feel totally sufficient. I've been enjoying the quietness of Olona, which is just only because of this pandemic, because there's no people. Otherwise, I don't think that I will be able to enjoy it alone, because it will be busy. As always, this happens in life. And even pretty and beautiful places, they're not enough. You need to have more excitement. You need to have travel opportunities, enjoying tranquility, peaceful environment. Would I stay another month here? Well, I don't know. I really like wild nature, clean, unspoiled nature. It's just so difficult to find, of course. Some kind of condo like this in a seafront, which is good. It's good, very valuable, and so on. But still, it's gonna be just only one place, only one view for many years, for decades. And you wanna travel. You still wanna see other places. Beautiful Indonesia, Bali. Yeah, such a pearl. Lombok and Gili Islands, and there's so many beautiful places. Beautiful Thailand. Well, and if you cross the ocean, the Caribbean islands, Bahamas, islands here in the Pacific Ocean, Bora Bora, Palau, Solomon Islands, French Polynesia. It's so many things to explore and enjoy, and one place with a constant view, even if it's good view, one view. No, guys, no. It's good, but it's not all. And you live only one life. Why should you? I wouldn't say you waste it, but why should you? Why shouldn't you take the chances and options and opportunities to explore other beautiful places? So good swim. Today I totally feel like I'm alone here. Alone on Alona Beach. Well, yeah, in the stormy days, in the rainy days, it's a little bit more disturbing. That's for sure. But you are so much closer to the nature, and this is a main attraction, main entertainment. It's not that many things which can give you more entertainment. Going for the fishing, take the trip to the neighbor islands, visit some kind of local farm, organic farm, maybe some other activities which you find valuable.